This is Jilliana Ranicar-Breese, and I'm in the lovely Polo Mansion Hotel in Rhodes with Effie. Effie is the owner, manageress, and in fact, you created the garden, didn't you, Effie?
Yes, with a partner of mine many years ago.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how many years have you had the hotel?
Well, actually this year we are celebrating 20 years.
20 years?
Yes.
Which month will that be?
In August, I think.
In August?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, it'll be very hot in Rhodes then.
Yeah, of course.
It is very, very delightful. It's home from home.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So tell me, Effie, you speak Italian?
Yes.
Yes.
English, Greek, and now I'm having French lessons.
French lessons. Oh, good. That's very good. Yes. Private ones?
Yes, private ones.
Excellent, excellent. Now, tell me, you studied history.
Yes, I did.
In Bologna. Tell me about that.
Well, when I was around 20, actually I went to Italy because I wanted to study art, how you call it, restauro,
restoration.
Restoration of all things. But when I went there, I figured out that it was a private school, so I decided before to study history. And I did history. Actually, I made inscriptions. And I stayed in Italy for 6 years.
Yes. Now, this was rather unusual because the Greek inscriptions were on tombs and monuments and so on.
In monuments, in temples, in everywhere. And they were giving information for everything, for the dead people, from where people were from, if they died, for what died. They were making ex-votos, for example. They were dedicated someone to a god, and they were telling, I'm bringing that to this god because he helped me out for this. So it's very important.
So you had to know all about the mythology.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, fascinating.
The date, the type. It's very, very interesting.
But of course you don't do that anymore.
No, I never did it actually. I just graduated and then I came here, and at the time I met my husband in Bologna,
right.
And we came here together, and at the time my mother died, and she owns a shop in the main street, so
what kind of shop was that?
Well, she was, it was food actually, it was a bar, and she was selling like pies and sandwiches, and I had my first baby and we started working like this. But what I did at the time, because I was speaking many languages, I teach kids that they were foreigners, Italian, French or English, and they were going here at school. So I helped them at school. So that was I have been done for many years. That was my business, my work. I worked as a teacher for kids that they were not Greek, but they were going at Greek school.
Ah, you mean they were foreigners?
Foreigners, yes, exactly.
Foreigners learning Greek?
Exactly.
Okay, and
so I did that.
How many children did you have in the end?
Plenty of them. One of them is
No, your children.
I have 2 children. I have Savas, that you know already.
Of course.
He's working here. Even if he has been studying at the university as an engineer, he never did his job like his mother actually. And he's here on the restaurant right now. And I do have a beautiful daughter that is right now moved to England actually.
Oh, she moved to England?
Yes.
Where is she?
3 months ago. Wolverhampton.
Oh, yes, that's right. You told me.
I told you, yes. She's a veterinary, and she's now there from January, actually.
Okay, how's she liking it?
She loves it. She loves it. I think
so
she's
not married or anything?
Well, she's only 27, 26, actually, and she's starting her life right now. I hope she will not meet someone in England and stay there.
You hope she won't. Oh, well, anyway. Now tell me, your life now. Oh, actually, we've forgotten you. We're going to tell me more about the Greek inscriptions, because you said that you specialized in the Roman period.
Yes, but they were always in Greek. So they were giving us information about who was the imperator at the time, what he was doing here, what people were doing. So it's very interesting to learn how the life of at the time.
And how long were the Romans here for?
For 200 years. Rhodes has been always a place where everybody passed through, the Byzantines, after the Romans, the Byzantines, and then the Muslims, and then the Knights, of St.
Yes,
John.
yes.
And the last occupation that we have, they were the Germans, of course, with the war, and the last one, the Italians.
When did the Italians come?
Well, the Italians, they came at the end of the First World War, and they left at the end of the Second World War.
Oh, they were here quite a while.
27 years.
Wow.
Yes.
No
And
wonder
that's why-
so many people here speak Italian.
Well, yes, not in my age, older people, but that's why when you walk around the city, you realize that a lot of the buildings, they have an Italian
Architecture.
colonial architecture, yes.
Oh, yes. All Rhodes,
So
of
we
course.
became Greece actually in 1947.
Oh, quite late. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Well, it's a very beautiful city. Now, tell me, how did you get involved with the hotel business?
Well, my life is a game, as everything. I met this guy, the Italian guy, Giuseppe Sala, that he came here just to buy a house at the time. But at the
And
time,
when was that?
93.
Right.
But at the time, if you were not a Greek citizen, you were not able to buy a house, and we were not in the
Common market?
exactly yet. So actually, I helped him out to buy a house at the time and to make up a business. So he opened a gallery here, which
An art gallery. He was a
an
painter.
art gallery. He was not a painter. Yes, he was also a painter. He was an engineer, but he was he was writing poets. He was an artist, you know, of
Yeah.
living.
Yeah,
And actually, when I met him, he started the gallery, and then he asked me, you know, what are you doing right now? I said, I'm teaching. And then he said to me, how much do you take about this? And I tell him, I said, okay, I'm paying you more if you start, if you come and work with me. So I started with the gallery. And then he had a lot of guests coming in his house. And suddenly one day he said to me, you know what, I will propose you something. Why you don't find a house which I will buy, I will put it on, and we will work together, and we will make a kind of guest house, not a hotel, because our idea, it was to create a place for friends, a place where everybody could come and feel at home.
Well, you've certainly done that.
I hope so.
Oh,
I'm still
definitely.
trying. So we start that. I did the same day that he told me I found this house. So I said, you know, this serendipity, you know, when things they have to happen, they happen. So we find the house. I worked for a year from 97 to 98. We renovate the place. We create the.
Yourself or with an architect?
With him, no, me and him. As you notice around, I tried, because I've been studying history, I tried to maintain the house as it was. And he, from his point of view, because he was an excellent artist, he put together things. And me, with my knowledge of ancient Greek and the colors and everything, we put together this place, you know.
Beautiful.
First of all, trying first to maintain the house. And the house was a Turkish house with wonderful, we kept everything. So that's how we started, and
that's 20 years ago.
20 years ago, and then slowly we start with the restaurant too. Also, the restaurant was a joke. I was cooking for me, and then my guests were passing, and they were like, what are you eating? Can we have some? At the beginning, I was just giving them to try, but then I figured out that it was not fair, you know? I didn't have any food to eat.
Oh, you've done a wonderful job, Effie.
Thank you, thank you,
With your
Jilliana.
husband, of course.
And then I have guests like you all around, you know?
And what about Spiros? What
Spiros,
was-
it's also, I mean, we are complementary. I mean, Spiros, he's helping me a lot.
He
He's
takes
doing a
care
lot
of the admin, yes?
He's been there. And then the garden also, his job. I mean, he's, as I call him, Mr. Chant. I mean, he's taking after, look, my son is more at the restaurant, I'm at the hotel, and he's in the garden, and they're keeping the administration of the place, yes.
Oh, well, thank you, Effie, because it's been wonderful talking to you.
I thank you very much, Jilliana.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to have guests like you around. Really.
Put it in writing, please.
Thank
Bye.
you, thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Yasu.
Bye, Yasu, Jilliana. Thank you.